Welcome to the Freedom Chronicles.
Definitely an antisocial type.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger.
Hi, perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
We got a loudspeaker here, and when we go into battle, we play music very loud.
With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Freedom Chronicles. I'm your host, Mike Imbasciani. Thank you for watching. I want to talk about this in the beginning of the show here because we have a wonderful show planned, a great guest, and a horrible thing happened on Monday with the shooting in Nashville. And I think it's important for people to know the names of the 6 people because you have to remember their names, understand what they stood for. And these were good people that lost their lives in a very tragic situation. And we're not going to talk about it for too long, but I do believe it's important to talk about. You've already heard a million things, and you will continue to hear a million things about this topic. So we're going to talk about this and talk about other things as well. But we have the pictures of these victims. It's Cynthia Peak, who was 61 years old when she was murdered by a trans activist shooter. She taught as a substitute teacher at the Covenant School. Her friends say that she was the person to count on in a crisis. Quote, she reflected the love of the Lord Jesus she followed, and to me, and that's the legacy she leaves behind. She's survived by her husband, a daughter, and 2 sons. You have Mike Hill, who was 61 years old. He worked as the custodian there at Covenant School. He worked at the school for 13 years before his death and was known to be an encouraging, positive force by those who knew him. And there's also a GoFundMe for him right now, trying to raise money for his family. Haley Scruggs was just 9 years old, and Haley's father, Chad Scruggs, is a well-known pastor in the area and the senior pastor of the church that runs the Covenant School. This is truly a spiritual battle against good and evil. Pray for the Scruggs family. It's very heartbreaking to see that as well. Catherine Kuntz was 60 years old, and she was the head mistress of the private Christian academy there. A parent described Kuntz as a saint and said that she dedicated her life to educating children. William Kinney was just 9 years old, and his parents said that Will had an unflappable spirit. He was unfailingly kind, gentle when the situation called for it, quick to laugh, and always inclusive of others. He loved his sisters, adored his parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, and always excited to host friends of every age. And then Evelyn Dickhus there was 9 years old, and she is a true hero and is a patriot, for she tried to pull the fire alarm to stop the trans shooter from opening fire on her friends. Remember her name, remember her face, and be like Evelyn and be a hero when those opportunities arise. Be a patriot for all the people around you. We're joined here, of course, with Mr. Ken Lovejoy and very special guest, comedian, very funny guy, and also a patriot, Dean Napolitano. How are you, Dean?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Dean.
Thanks for joining us.
Living the dream, my friends.
Living the dream. And yes, right now, of course, we are broadcasting from the Brian Chapman State Farm bunker right here in Southwest Florida. And like a good neighbor, Brian Chapman State Farm is there for all of the insurance needs that you have for your very own bunker. Give us office a call at 941-625-9998 or visit the office at 2040 Tamiami Trail in Port Charlotte. So Dean, you're down here. You're in Sarasota this weekend over at McCurdy's and saw the show last night. Great show. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And so what are things like as you're traveling around the country right now?
It's just a temperature. People is, it's I think comedy is coming back to where comics are saying whatever they want again. I think it's definitely
Ain't nobody jumping up and slapping you.
No, and I was punched on stage.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was 2017, 2018, and
Really?
That was a guy that got handed divorce papers. It wasn't a kind of political thing or anything, but the sensitivity.
Yeah,
I think audience is tired of it too. Of people coming to a comedy show and being offended. Mm-hmm. You want to go be offended at some rally or whatever, that's your choice. But when you go and pay a ticket, see a show, just shut up or go home.
right.
Shut up and laugh.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 32 years now, and seeing the swing come full circle is pretty cool. I've never backed away.
Yeah.
it's like during COVID and the George Floyd things. I mean, I lost some friends because I said what I had to say. I wasn't going to sit there and pretend.
Well, right, exactly.
certain-
And free speech is the beacon of freedom. You have to be able to say what you want to say. And I mean, really, comedians are that push through right now. I think that's what's helping keep free speech alive is these comedians like Dave Chappelle and even the local comedians and the ones that tour nationally like you have to be able to say what is going on. It's important.
Yeah, and you have to like know your audience. I've never been a political comic ever.
No.
I'm always about family stories, marriage,
Yeah.
divorce, things in society. But I do say some stuff on stage. But man, comedy brings people together.
Yeah.
And then you can say what you want. They say it's the last frontier for free
is.
speech.
Yeah, it is.
Especially,
I mean, your COVID material is great, and I think it is something that if you're truly a free thinker, it's not political. It only becomes political for people, and people get offended when they know they got suckered into it so hard.
That's what I think we're at.
Yeah.
Right now is that because I got a lot of Democrat friends, I got a lot of liberal friends, and I see it, but they won't admit it. And it's like it's that thing. You're just so stubborn that you can't even be like, yeah, maybe they lied a little bit. Maybe the Fauci wasn't exactly telling the truth.
No, he's wonderful.
I have my Fauci tattoo.
It's amazing.
right below where I get my Fauci ouchie every 6 months.
My Fauci ouchie. Well, when you see people, I saw one video of a lady that had a reaction to the, they talk about the VAERS reports for the bad, the
which
vaccine.
are always underreported.
Underreported. The doctors were too busy, and one lady
told
had
not
like,
to do it.
yeah. And one lady's whole face dropped from the shot. She's like, "I'll do it again because it's for everybody." I'm like,
that's right. I did see that. Yeah.
I thought, how stupid are you? But
when you just take over 100 years of knowledge and just broom it.
Yeah.
Right.
This is different. No, it's not. Sorry.
And the whole "my body, my choice" just got thrown away by everybody that was on that. And then I just thought, because I was telling you before we started, I had a contract offer from Carnival Cruise. This is, I don't know, 8 months ago. And the agent said, I read the whole contract, and then at the end it says, must be fully vaccinated and fully boosted.
Wow.
And I wrote back, it was a good contract, it was a lot of money. I said, I'm not vaccinated. I had COVID, bad, still don't have all my smell back. I said, I'm not getting vaccinated now. Are you out of your mind? Take your cruise ship and shove it,
Yeah. And that's what it takes. It takes people to say enough is enough and say, no, I'm not going to conform, because you're seeing it with the nurses. And, when is enough for people? Is it 8 shots? Is it 10? Is it everybody dropping around you? Even I just heard Damar Hamlin is now like the spokesperson for the AED machines, the little defibrillators there.
I feel like I read that.
Yeah, it just came out. Breaking news. And
he's signing shirts with Schumer.
Signing jerseys with Schumer, because we all know Damar is never going to play again on a football field from what happened to him, dying twice before being resuscitated twice. And
especially if they're all still trying to get away with blaming the hit. So
right,
he'll
blaming the
never play
hit.
again.
And so they're trying to have him team up for these AEDs so that to help curb, to get more of them in these places, because of these young
and they
people
paid him
all of a
enough to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, all of a sudden having these heart attacks. We need to make sure there's enough AED machines, which is
Did you
again
see
what
the
reactionary.
interview where he refused to answer the question?
Oh,
He was
yeah.
asked why, yeah.
I did see that. It was pretty soon after. That was the Super Bowl interview, right?
Right.
I don't know. When you're promoting an AED, that's the when they go clear and they hit you, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
but
generally, before all this, my sister had sudden cardiac death, and they didn't have one at the bingo hall where it happened. She lived, but they were luckily a cop was close by and put it. But we all know those exist. You really need someone out there promoting it like Coke,
Yeah.
Well, I guess insofar as they want to have them in more places now, because the clot shot is causing so much myo and pericarditis that people are just dropping like flies where they stand all over. So you could be shopping in a Target, and you vapor lock.
So you got to have one in the tranny bikini section.
Have AED.
I think
in Target.
Pretty soon they'll have home ones, you know.
Oh,
They got
yeah.
everything else.
Oh,
figured.
Well, it's coming out on the Apple 10 watch.
Yeah, right. The Apple Watch will start to hear, oh, his heartbeat's not right. Quick, give him a little shock.
Well, you see, they have that thing where you put your fingers on now, and you're like, and it's that you used to only be able to get that in the doctor. But I don't trust myself measuring my.
No, I'm good.
Oh yeah, it's like there's a point to go to the doctor.
Yeah, I think
this whole thing again has really just destroyed my trust in the medical system here in America.
Yeah.
I don't care if I ever go to a doctor again. And really, seriously and truly, before anybody takes me to the Sarasota Memorial Death Factory,
Right.
you can drive me to an animal clinic in Wauchula. Have me treated there.
It worked for John Wick.
Yeah, right. That's right. He went into the veterinarian's office where the dogs were.
Yeah. Oh man. And
pick up a puppy while
speaking.
I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of the vaccine as well, I just recently played at the Mercola Market down in Cape Coral, and they unveiled a very nice statue, beautiful statue, and it also has the inscription, "The truth will set you free." And there it is right there, and all talking about all the people. It involves the National Vaccine Information Center, the NVIC, and a woman from that organization spoke as well at the unveiling of the statue. You can find the speech online. I highly recommend a lot of people check it out. She had a lot of great information. Like 80% of the United States is vaccinated. That is a
for
huge
COVID?
number.
At least one shot.
Yeah, at least one shot for COVID.
80%.
80%.
But
I
thought
it was like
percentage of that
60.
the percentage of that 80% that didn't go back for a second shot
is
is
huge
pretty
as well.
high.
Yeah.
It's huge because there was a bunch of people that after the first shot they felt it.
Mhm.
You know, they had an issue,
Right.
maybe it went away. They said, I'm not getting the second one.
I found it amazing when it was happening because my kids, I want it to be okay because everybody in my family's vaccinated, but my kids got it, and I was like, man, you guys are young and healthy, but you know, you're an adult, you got to make your choice. But you know, people talked people into it. People guilted people into it.
Exactly.
they were
Guilt
manipulated.
especially. Yes.
The guilt was incredible.
Even from the doctors, these doctors who are specialists who are dealing with people that have these immune problems already, and they're being told to get it by these same doctors. It's criminal, really, because these doctors and nurses should know better. And remember, folks, the final variant is communism.
Ain't no booster for that.
No.
I don't know. I just, it's just like waiting for the next thing to happen.
I know. It's like,
it's a weird time.
And that's why I'm telling people, you know, that because it's causing anxiety in people who really don't know what's going on, but they're locked on the TV news. And that's it, man. If all you do is watch TV news, your head's gonna be pretty messed up.
Yeah.
You got to turn that damn
Especially
TV
when
up.
everything
Read
is
your news.
sponsored by Pfizer.
Exactly.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
I know.
Read your news, and every commercial's a freaking drug commercial. Hi, I've got AIDS, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
So's my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I remember
Look,
years,
we're still kissing.
there was only like one or two, pharmaceutical ads on the news, but now I don't know, man. It's a lot of push for pharmacy.
Well, and even this, it's still the mentality here. This was a tweet, Dr. Sho Jacobs here. I went to a party. This was posted. You'd think this was from 2020 or even 2021, but this was posted on March 10th, 2023. I went to a party last night. Here's how we reduced the hashtag COVID-19 risk. We all wear masks in public space and at work. We planned well in advance and monitored our health. We used, what is that? Innovid? Whatever that is. We met on an outdoor heated patio and we measured the ventilation and we put on masks.
This is real?
That's real.
That's real.
Does that say doctor?
That's a doctor. Not the first one, too. But they're all female doctors. The one that I've seen go out of their way to show their stupidity. Mm-hmm. The one who was all pissed off because she had 6 boosters and still wound up getting COVID and couldn't figure out why. Yeah. You're a doctor.
Right.
Really? After the first one, if you got COVID. Done getting the shots. But no, gosh, I thought with 6 shots that maybe that would finally hamper the effects of COVID, but I still got it again.
Darn.
I mean,
Yeah.
just the stupidity.
Well,
is
right. You
beyond
mentioned
me.
the lady with her face, hanging down like Justin
Yeah.
Bieber. I'm still gonna get it.
Bell's
She said she's
palsy.
Bell's
still going to
palsy,
get the
yeah.
next booster. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's-
are you a fool? The thing I don't get about that last post is what does the heated porch do? Like,
Yeah, right.
because it's
like,
winter.
Yeah, because it's
But
cold.
we still went outside
so they
because
still
we don't want the Rona.
but the
we'd
cold
ra-
would actually be better
we
for
would-
the lungs.
Yeah.
I
that
saw this
that
whole
takes thinking.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
The
these
ice.
people don't think. You have to understand.
There's a great
They're only
documentary.
following CDC guidelines.
I
Yes.
keep looking the wrong
6
way.
feet. 6 feet.
I saw a documentary called Consumption on Netflix a while back. It's about tuberculosis, and this
Mm.
one doctor who figured out he would go up north and sit out in the cold air, and that's what they used to do to the people
Yeah.
in New York. They put them on the balconies so they could
Mhm.
breathe better, and
Wow.
and
That's why Doc Holliday went to Colorado.
Yeah.
the dry air and the cool air.
It's
You
a
know,
dry heat.
I got this
And
bacteria.
their
Let me heat it up.
TB's coming back.
Yeah,
too,
yes, it
thanks
is.
to the illegal aliens
Mhm.
pouring through our
Oh,
borders.
tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of things coming back. We got
Yeah,
the new-
you're seeing all these very
Tyranny.
weird viruses coming back. and
what about the
it's-
fungus? You saw
camps.
that? The
Yeah,
what? Gee,
the
what?
fungus? That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
there's a fungus among us.
Did you see that? Like, it's just like that show.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it's not like the show The Last of Us. I'm like, bull crap. I watched that whole series, and it's almost like they
I
took-
played that video game. That was
Yeah.
a great game when it came
Was
out.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some video game.
Ken, have
The-
you
The
seen
Last
that
of Us,
show,
yeah.
The
No.
Last of Us?
It's on HBO Max.
It's really good, but it's about the fungus. The Earth heats up, global warming, of course, and then
Oh, of course.
allows the fungus to live inside the human bodies
Uh-oh.
and take over and mutate them. But of course, this
And
fungus
you
they're
become
talking about-
clickers. Basically, it's
Yeah.
like it's based off of a real fungus that infects ants. Actually, I remember hearing about it when the video game first came out. And so they end up the zombies. They don't call them zombies. They're called clickers
Right.
because they use like echolocation. So they click. That's how they find the people to eat.
That's what they do
and-
in the show. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're clickers.
That's
And
weird. I didn't know that.
and it's a real fungus that infects ants. And yeah, they're saying they can infect humans. So,
Okay. Yeah.
Like the zombie
It's a-
ants, those type
zombie
things.
right?
ants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those type of things.
Gotta have a
That's-
zombie.
but
ant.
look,
It's a fungus among
Wait,
Ken, look
waiting
it
for
up.
that to be on show up on Call of Duty.
yeah, right.
I don't know, man. When you just all of a sudden the series
Battle
comes
Royale
out,
clickers.
Yeah. So Dean, you're where are you from originally?
originally Long Island, New York.
Long Island.
Mhm.
Okay. And you're a Mets fan. We won't
Yeah.
hold it against you. The Mets had a good year last year.
Yeah,
They did, but they choked.
Yeah, they did, as they do every year. And Edwin
So-
Diaz.
Yeah, I can't wait till your Yankees.
I know the
have
Yankees
another
choke every year too.
okay?
Okay, yeah, and today is opening day, so I'll wear my patriotic Yankee hat. There we go.
Oh,
Opening
today's
day
opening
for
day?
baseball today. Yeah, it's gonna be
Okay.
fun.
Baseball.
As we record this right now, I'm missing it. I'm missing all the opening things, so I just shows you how much I love both of you.
Well,
I'm
the rule
missing
changes I didn't even know about until the other day.
Yeah,
We got to see some of the real changes when we caught the opening day spring training.
spring training. Yeah,
Out
Oh,
at
yeah.
the
Mhm.
Braves stadium, the Braves and the Rays.
they had the pitch clock.
yeah
now.
pitch
Yeah, the
clock.
pitch
and
clock.
It really did speed the game up.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
like 2.5 hours, and you were out of there.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And, it
And then
wound
the
up
bases
tying
are bigger too.
Yeah,
Are they?
Yeah. So when people slide in, they don't hit anybody's ankles, and so nobody gets hurt.
I didn't know that was an issue.
I know it's not. I miss the days. Was it Pete Rose or something that banged into the catcher that
Oh,
All-Star
yeah.
game?
oh man, you go on YouTube and look at a reel of some
Yeah.
of those. Guys
That's real
taking out
baseball. Thank
the
you very
second
much.
baseman and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
But outside of baseball, right now in hockey, Jack Posobiec mentioned this: NHL may cancel the LGBT Pride nights
yeah,
as growing numbers of players refuse to wear the rainbow gear.
yeah.
So this
the head of the NHL has said they're what are they?
Yeah, the league commissioner
Revising.
Gary Bettman said in an interview when asked about it, "This is the first time we've experienced that, and I think it's something that we're going to have to evaluate in the off season."
In other words, we're not going to do it anymore.
Right.
But I think and it's just my opinion, I think it's a choice. It's always a choice.
Yeah.
If someone wants to wear it, they wear it. They don't,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
To be forced to wear the ribbon.
I don't want to wear that.
anything. Well,
ribbon.
they don't even show that episode much anymore.
Yeah,
I know.
And,
It's because of the Puerto Ricans.
yeah, the Puerto Rican Day Parade one is like gone, and then it's like and that's a Seinfeld is that show was wasn't right. It was
No.
Right
accepted
down the
all,
middle, yeah.
but to like not show that's one of the funniest episodes.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to wear the ribbon.
yeah.
Don't you want to fight for AIDS? I'm here walking.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing.
Who does not want to wear the ribbon?
These guys are the best. You know, I have gay family members, and we talk a lot. And I always listen.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's what I mean. And that was that.
Apparently, is hockey, is NHL hockey a real big Ku Klux Alphabet Clan go-to sport?
I don't
think so.
No, and I don't know why everything
because they're men fighting men.
Yeah, exactly.
In manly ways.
Yeah.
Like, what's the joke? I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Yeah. That's a goodie. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Why, and why? What's it matter?
Well, the Rays did the same thing. There were 3 Rays pitchers that refused
Why do we
to
have
wear
to
the
keep
little
getting
pride
on our
thing.
knees for less than 2% of the population?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I think it just all comes down to the choice. It's like everything's about don't force
individual choice.
Like, if someone said, "Hey, you're forced to wear this,
like
this religious badge," I should say, "No, if I'm not."
The gays, nobody really cares.
Yeah. No. Live your life.
Live your life. But when you start trying to force your lifestyle on me, or force me to adjust my lifestyle to accommodate you and your feelings, sorry. Ain't happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's what we've come down to.
Mm-hmm.
My mother used to tell me, I was in the 70s. I remember, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But she would say, because everybody's always, who'd you vote for?
Need mom's advice.
Yeah, right. You do. Like, who'd you vote for? My mother. I said, my mom. Who'd you vote for? Mom was like a presidential election in, way back in the 70s, and she goes, "You don't ask people who they voted for and how much they make in their paycheck. None of your business."
Yeah.
And my mother was a little Catholic lady, and I thought
none of your business.
Yeah, she's just like, and I've always remembered that though, because I remember getting like someone asking me, "Hey, what do they pay you? What do they make?" I go, "I don't tell people that shit."
No, it's nobody's business. Anyway, we're gonna dive into a little more of the tranny issue here, but before we do that, let's laugh a little bit.
No, fucking cars now.
The transmissions, the trannies.
I love the M22
sticking.
rock crusher.
It's sticking.
Tell you what, her shipped I'm telling you, that's a great tranny.
Anyway, folks, if you're enjoying the show, let us know. Send us an email, Mike Imbasciani1@gmail.com. You can send us an email. And thank you to folks watching on YouTube. Our episode with Dave Landau has blown up. It's over 5,400 views right now. So take all of that, go watch it on Rumble, because we want people watching on Rumble.
Logan
because
video gets 8,500 views in like 3 hours.
I know. So we're working on it, okay? We're working on it. So for now, that's why you have to go subscribe to the YouTube channel for now. But take it over to Rumble. Watch us on Rumble. Subscribe to the Rumble channel. Leave us a comment down below what you think. What do you think about what the NHL is doing? Do you want to wear the ribbon? Because we don't.
Wear the ribbon?
No. I say no. Anyway, also find us on CTA, Conservative Television of America. Watch it on there. That's why, Dean's little cursing got to get bleeped. It's okay.
Yeah, I did.
We won't fucking hold it against him.
I can't help it. I grew up in New York.
Right, exactly. I grew up around New Yorkers, so it's close enough. I was born in New York, though, so I got that going for me.
Yeah.
Also find the show on Spotify. You can watch it on Spotify, but you can only listen on Apple Podcasts. So when you're listening on Apple Podcasts, again, take it over to Rumble. Subscribe to the Rumble page. Follow the show on everywhere. iHeartRadio as well. And as well as BitChute and Brighteon. I see all the views on BitChute, but you're not subscribing. You got to subscribe. It helps us out. We're also on this new thing called Public Square.
Is that at Publix?
No, it should be, though.
They play
it's an
us
app.
while you're shopping?
Right? Yeah. It's an app called Public Square, and it shows all conservative either media like podcasts like this or businesses. There's a lot of ammo and gun stores on there.
As there should be.
And so folks can check that out and find conservative with people who have the same values as you. And another person with the same value as us and you watching this show is the Local Meat Club by Tyrone and Marcella Jackson, based out of Columbus, Ohio, of which this show is sponsored by. You can go to localmeatclub.com using the affiliate link in the description of this video and use promo code FreedomCow, all caps, so that they know that we sent you. Members can choose from fantastic, locally raised and hormone-free aged Angus ground beef, ribeye steaks, breakfast sausage, bacon, and even raw butter and raw milk. And I have heard lately the raw milk is very important. Try the Family Week's Worth package that includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And also pick up Tyrone's book, Life's Little Handbook, 7 Steps to Finding Success in Life, which explores some of life's most challenging questions, just 54 pages, simple and straight to the point. Join the club and experience the difference that fresh, life-supporting food makes. Use the link in the description and use promo code FreedomCow, localmeatclub.com. And Tyrone will be a guest on next week's show as well, so you don't want to miss that.
I just finished up my the final 3 Good Frank 45 steak franks. I baked them.
They're huge.
I baked them.
I never had raw milk. Is it good?
I haven't tried it either. But
Because last night they were talking at the bar how there was some health guy
When I was
there.
a kid, we went to the dairy. We took a kindergarten class.
Did the hand
dairy, and they gave a little
They did the
squirt in
dairy.
udder. No, he really did. He squirted right in your mouth. You go, okay, open your mouth.
See, that's a little too much for me.
It's like, put it in a glass first.
Yeah,
it was in a dark
pass
closet
on
in the
right
back,
out of the
and
udder.
He said there was a cow in there, but the lights were off. I couldn't really tell.
Get home from school and your mom's like, what did you do today? I got milk squirted in my mouth, Mom.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a scar. I've been hearing about it being so, but it's you can't really buy it like raw milk.
You can localmeatclub.com. Go check it out. Link in the
Okay.
description. Use the promo code. Use the affiliate link.
And I just saw
Get
this
some
thing
raw milk.
about real butter, like not like real Irish butter. Have you heard of this?
No.
Yeah, I just saw it on a video. Like that's
Irish
better
butter.
So I got to look for that.
Does it include the whiskey?
I hope.
Or is it made out of potatoes?
Good with a good single malt.
Single malt with your toast in the morning. I want to be healthy.
Yes. Folks, go to Dino Live. It's not Dean Olive. DinoLive.com to check out Dean's schedule as well. And enjoy this video of some good comedy from Dean Napolitano.
40, you start like, you really start to go. Your hair goes, your eyebrows need hair gel. You know what I mean, fellas? You wake up in the morning, it's like, is that a spider? What is that? Is that a spider? The hell is that? Your nose hair will pop out of your face in the middle of the day. Isn't that weird? Like, you'll be clear in the morning, then at the mall with your wife, you're like, you want to eat, babe? What do you want to do? You want to eat? What do you want to do? And your wife is gagging. She's like, can't watch that all. And you don't even see it till you get in the car, right? You go home to drive, you look in the mirror, you're like, oh shit, how long has that been there? Then you gotta operate. You ever see your guy operate on a nose hair? You ever see that? You gotta yank that sucker? It's disgusting, right? Because you can't just fingertip it, it slips. You gotta nail that son of a bitch. You gotta pull your leg up, you're like, come on, come on, come on, come on. Then you look at your finger and there's 10 of them. Holy shit. I pulled out a fan. There's always a white one. Where the hell did the white one come from? What's happening to me? I know. These jokes are freaking you two out, aren't they? I see you like, huh? And I got a hairy chest. You got a hairy chest, so you shave it. A lot of young guys shave it. Everybody's on a swim team now. Good for you. Let it grow. A lot of swimmers out there now. Everybody's swimming. You don't shave it, do you, sir? Hell no. You take your shirt off, the Lion King entered the room. You know what I mean? That's a man right there. I'm half Italian, you know. I got a hairy chest. My dad's 100% Italian. 86 years old, been growing chest hair for 82 years, this guy. Thanks for getting that one. He's got 3 shades of chest hair. Have you ever seen he's got white and gray. And he's got like a few black ones hanging on from '94, you know what I mean? And he sleeps without a shirt, so it gets in a circular matted pattern. It looks like a hurricane moving across his nipples. Have you ever seen that? You ever seen the storm front chest hair pattern? I'm like, Pop, we got some shit moving in on the West Coast here. What the hell's happening? Can't do it. But he's not even that hairy. You know that real hairy guy, ladies? You ever see that guy at the pool at the hotel? You know what I mean? When he swims towards you, the hair moves first. You ever see that shit? It's like a sea urchin coming at you. It's like, hold on, his hair's moving. I make fun of him. I gotta make fun. People are like, you shouldn't make fun of your dad. I have to make fun of him. It's your job as a kid. My kids make fun of me now. They're 22 and 18. That's what they do. They come home for the holidays. They make fun of me, man. Last year I had a white t-shirt on. Christmas morning, my daughter comes out of the bedroom. She's like, gross, Dad. I know. I'm like, what? I look down. There's a black hair on my shirt, right? I was like, oh, shit. I went to pull it off. It was attached. Have you ever seen that? The hair grew through the cotton fiber of the shirt. angry as that hair and all the other hairs where it's like, what is that, cotton? I'm out of here. I'm out of here. It's disgusting. And I make fun of my dad. I have to. Every time I watch this man eat, I got to make fun. I can't eat around him. It's like the scene from The Walking Dead. Every meal, it's like, rah, 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 rah. Right? Everybody have a person like that? He's like, rah, 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 rah. And then he's got to start talking with a mouthful of food and shit's flying everywhere. Like somebody dropped a biscuit in a wood chipper, you know what I mean? He'll look up at me and there's corn on his temple, I swear to God. And we didn't have corn at the meal. How the hell's that happen? It's like, well, that was Friday. What the hell's going on, Pop?
I love it. Dean Napolitano. There you go.
Yeah, 7 years ago that
Yeah.
video, you know, because I don't do that bit much anymore, but so it's funny to
That
watch.
was a funny bit, man.
Yeah.
Man, I had much thinner face. What the hell?
That was at McCurdy's too.
Hair was darker.
My hair was darker and shorter. Thanks, Ken. We're gonna get into the hair jokes, Ken.
Hey, I finally, I can tell you folks, Ken did have hair.
I did.
I've seen the pictures.
Seen the pictures.
You gotta bring one in.
I
There
know.
was a time when I looked like Frasier during the Cheers years.
Oh yeah,
Coming out of the Navy, I let it all grow. I grew a big beard and I just grew my hair out as long as I could, but it's really curly in the back. Looked like Frasier during Cheers.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go. So Dean, because I hear some of that
Solid
bit
look.
that you've added. Isn't it? Yeah.
For about a minute.
To the newer bits, how do you find your material has changed over the years? Like, because you're talking about doing the jokes now. You have the story. There are jokes that are come from family stories,
right?
So over the years for you, how has it evolved?
The jokes at the end of a show, I think some comics just have fun, so people can go home with a joke. Like I'll do that. I'll do that once in a while. But the material for me has always evolved through what I'm going through in life. Like right now, I'm caregiving for my dad. I caregive for my mom. It's a hard thing, and a lot of people going through it. And I'm finding a lot of people that have done caregiving after the show, and this is probably the most. I mean, I've related to people other times with like kids and marriage, but this caregiving set I'm doing now, I've had people come up to me emotional, and they're like, I needed that laugh so bad, and my husband does what you do, you know, and the husband's like, oh, caregiver. And he's like, you know, I do what you do. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not my wife. I'm looking at my dad naked, you know, but it's one of them things where you bond on a, you know, human. And again, that's a thing where, you know, politics doesn't play into that. This is just human emotion and contact and doesn't matter, you know, what side you're on. It's like, man, everybody can relate to. Exactly. It's end of life. It's like, you know, we're all going to get there if we get there, and you know, you're going to experience these things. So it's been tough, but when I do it on stage, it makes me forget about it, and you know, and then when people come up afterward, they're so. I mean, you could see it in their eyes. And the lady last night came up to me, cute blonde lady. She said, "I took care of my dad at the end, and I had to wash him and help him." Yeah. And then she goes, my dad would say, "I'm sorry, sweetie, you have to do this." And she's like, "Yeah, it's okay, Dad. Okay, let's just get it done." I said, "Yeah, that's when you want to say, okay, we don't need to vocalize it. Let's just get this done." You know, we don't need to talk. No eye contact.
Yeah. No eye contact.
But it's definitely that kind of thing I like. I like to connect with the audience on that level. Sure. So, you know,
and you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Still love
nice to see. What's the weirdest or worst gig that you've had?
Well, I've had some weird ones. I went to one when I was still married. My ex-wife, who we're best friends now, but she came to a show on a New Year's Eve right after we had my daughter, you know, and it's our first date. My daughter might have been, I don't know, 6 months old, 5 months old. She came out, it's a private party. Turns out, there was a swingers event after the,
ringing in the new year, right?
She looks at me. Of course, then she's thinking every time I go to a show, this is what it's like. I'm like, this never happens. That was a weird one. And then in 2017 or 18, you know, a guy came up, got served divorce papers, and his whole place was heckling. Anyway, he walked up the stage calmly and just sucker punched me.
Yeah, sure, that would be the worst.
That would be the worst. But that one weirded me out because I was gun shy for a little bit. You know, I was like, because, you know, I'll go after people if they're loud or if they're obnoxious. And it took me about 6 months to kind of not be squirrely every time someone came up to me. Because I've
Yeah.
had people approach the stage, kind of like with the Will Smith thing when that happened.
Yeah.
I knew Dave. I'd be like, I was fake. I'm like 100% real. I could tell by Chappelle's reaction, because you have every emotion. You're embarrassed.
No,
You
Chris
got
Rock,
rage. Yeah, Chris Rock. That's why I say Chappelle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, he had one too.
Yeah, that's right. He got the
guy
who
who
stabbed
tackled him,
Yeah. But you have so much. You're humiliated. You're embarrassed. You have rage in you. You want revenge. It's a wild thing. And when someone approaches the stage on a comic, you can't just start swinging. You don't.
Right.
If they're coming up at you and they're aggressive, but like when Will Smith went up to
You try to calm them down.
Yes. Because you're like, wait, what's going on here? But this guy came up to me very nonchalant, very calm. Like Will Smith walked up on Chris Rock, very nonchalant and calm.
Yeah.
So you think like, oh, what's going to happen? Because I've had guys come up and fist bump me, or
Yeah,
right,
after
they're
just drunk and
exactly. And this guy walked up to me and he was calm as, like just smiling. And in my gut, I was like, something's different. And I knew it, like that's that sense, and he went to step up. I said, you can't come up. And then he just gave me a right hook right on the button, man.
Oof.
But I was in Daytona where I started, so the audience just jumped on his ass. It wasn't a good night for him either.
No.
I mean, but yeah, it's those are the weirdest ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Swingers and sucker punches. I say.
Title of a book.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The memoirs.
That
there
is
it
a good
is.
title.
Swingers and sucker punches.
32 years in comedy. Swingers and sucker punches. That's great.
That is good. I like that. All right, so that will bring us to our Patriot and Traitor of the week, and then I want to get through these because I do have one final story that I want to talk about at the end. So don't click away, people. Keep watching. So Dean, being as the guest, who is your Patriot of the week?
I gotta put my readers on because I'm and I was gonna write it all on paper, but then I was like, this is a long article, so I'll shorten it up here real quick. It's my Patriot of the week is the
Is there going to be a new world order out there?
Fill the dead air.
Hold on, I gotta get to the right picture.
Phil, we need some Phil.
Listen.
He does go on stage, folks.
Yes, I am a professional. Would be the U.S. Marshal Service. I know you're supposed to pick one person, but which dispatched to protect the homes of the Supreme Court justices last year. They came out, a whistleblower, and had admitted that they were advised to refrain from arresting protesters unless absolutely necessary, according to the training document obtained by the office of Senator Katie Britt. I don't know if you guys saw the story. Mm-hmm. Avoid arresting unless absolutely necessary with criminal behavior action involving the protesters. And
this was at the Supreme Court Justice House.
And then there was the one with the gun there. Remember?
Right.
The guy that brought by Kavanaugh. Yeah. So anytime a whistleblower comes out, that's a patriot. You know what I mean? Because you're risking your career, your pension, your life. Mm-hmm. Ridicule, so I applaud people that do that.
Yep. Indeed. The whistleblowers. And as a side note, James O'Keefe, who just started his new OMG O'Keefe Media Group, just came out with the first, I forget what it was about, FEC, some finance violation nonsense.
Mules, laundering money.
Right.
You've got individuals, small town people who may have made like a $10 donation.
Right.
They'll get all their information, and all of a sudden that individual has made, in one case, this lady, 12,000 donations over the year, all small dollar donations. Mm-hmm. So he goes to her house. She didn't make all those donations.
Yeah.
So they're
money
muling, they're laundering, they're laundering donation
and so the
money.
person who, O'Keefe had all the documentation, all of it, and confronted her about it, and so she just resigned as well. So O'Keefe is 1 for 1 right now. So the whistleblowers work.
His
was that
main
his first
site,
one?
His main
Since
site breaks
leaving.
open June 4th. I think it is when he actually goes full online.
Yeah. So he's 1 for 1 since leaving Project Veritas.
Yeah,
so it just shows you O'Keefe is the man. So my Patriot, I have to give my Patriot to the two amazing officers that took down that tranny shooter. And I have their names here. Yep. Michael Palazzo. There we go. And Officer Rex Engelbert.
Bravo.
Yes. True patriots. They went in and they took care.
And if you watch that body cam footage,
yes,
just perfect. Just perfect.
They
Yeah,
ran
that's what they
towards
said.
the
They did it
gunfire.
perfect tactical.
And I love this from Richard Ratboy. Can't help but think that these guys are the exact type getting squeezed out of jobs for diversity and equity in departments across the country. We need more people like them, not less. And it's true, indeed. And just to talk about it briefly as well, I mean, you're seeing the true violence is coming from the left and from these trannies. And it was,
we got, this is the fourth one.
yeah, that yep, they have, we have a picture of that. The Colorado Springs shooter identified as non-binary, the Denver shooter identified as trans, the Aberdeen shooter identified as trans, and now the Nashville shooter identified as trans. And I had this story too. The science is settled. Trans people undergoing female to male testosterone injections experience increased rage and aggression.
Roid rage.
Yeah,
just
roid
like
rage.
Just like males who
Yeah.
are taking anabolic steroids. You get the roid rage.
They can't rub one out, so the aggression,
there you go.
goes to the wrong places.
Yes.
Anytime you mess with,
and again, we're
chemistry,
talking about a mental illness to begin with. So on top of the mental illness, you're pumping them full of this testosterone. Was she on her psych meds as well as on? I mean, and we already know the psych meds can make you suicidal and homicidal as well. So you got that combined with all the little tranny hormones that they're shoving in her. If they were, who knows? We don't know yet. We haven't read the manifesto yet because the FBI isn't finished writing it.
No, and you have these people. This is the woman, probably a woman, most
Who's
likely. Ben, you can pull the picture up of her holding the AR, and it has this basically saying they want to be violent. These are the violent people. These people don't want you to have guns, but they post this, and they're still not backing down from this Trans Day of Vengeance that they're going to have. They have this one's trans rights or else.
Of vengeance.
These are the violent
This
people.
is a real thing, this Trans Day of
Saturday.
Yeah. It's happening Saturday. Now, look at this girl. That was the Nashville shooter when she was normal. Benny Johnson posted this, and it's true. Wokeness kills the mind, body, and soul. Look at what wokeness did to this soul in a few short years. You fanatics out there are breaking our children. They're truly are monsters, and it's sad to see this is happening. And New York Post had really the perfect, honest headline that nobody else wants to talk about. The transgender killer targets the Christian school. And
now,
it truly is a
allegedly
terrorist
she
attack.
went there.
Yes, she allegedly did go there.
She's 28. Well, she was 28 at the time of her death. So we're talking, if she went there, that was 10 years ago.
Right.
So in the 10 years of her graduation, she's gone tranny, turned very violent, and went back to kill Christians.
Yeah, and there was a report saying that the governor of Tennessee knew, or the wife of the governor of Tennessee knew and used to teach with two of the teachers as well. So that's domestic terrorism. It is a terrorist attack. And it's these, and Cat Turd had a great tweet that said, "For the money we've given to Ukraine, we should have 3 armed guards at every school in the USA." And it's true.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, just see any kind of violence like that. I just don't get it. And when it's planned out, it's almost, even when you say mental health too. I was talking about this with my sister, and when it's so planned out, I mean, it's just evil people.
But the manifesto hasn't been released yet because the FBI hasn't finished writing it yet. But
there's so many evil people that just want to kill.
Yeah, and it's very sad to see.
It is.
And it's also sad to see when the initial report came out and they go, yes, it was a woman, because it was a woman who shot the people there.
Yeah.
Chad Prather tweeted this: "The New York Times apologized for misgendering the individual that killed 6.
They dead naming that dead girl.
No comment needed." Boy. It's true. No comment needed. Chad lets it speak for itself. You're apologizing to a terrorist. I'll leave the conversation with this. DC Drano, I believe the pronouns are now was, were.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I've been telling you.
The good guys with the guns did the right thing and eliminated the threat.
Been telling you for years they're crazy. Been also saying for years that the L's, the G's, and the B's are going to rue the day that they allowed the T's in. The T's just start dragging all them other crazy letters in.
Yes. So the true patriots are those cops that ran towards the gunfire and did what they had to do. Ken, who's your patriot?
That would have to be Senator Ted Cruz.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Haney just tore a new one in DHS Secretary Mayorkas, who is just a spineless little wimp.
Yep.
Just a gutless turd, this guy. And it was 11 minutes long. You can find it online. It's beautiful. Just destroyed this waste of flesh anti-American who needs to be impeached. And as Senator Ted Cruz also so bravely and boldly stated, you should resign. You've sat here and lied to us. You refused to answer questions. You're what did he say? Your attitude and character is despicable.
He doesn't flinch though, right?
No, he sat there. I can't believe this is deplorable the way you're treating me. He's a wimp.
Yeah, wimp. All right.
Ted Cruz was great to go after him. Love him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love it. You know, Ted certainly has his great moments.
Yeah.
Dean, who is your traitor of the week?
It's funny because that same story. It was Mayorkas was the traitor for not being able to answer the question correctly when Kennedy was going after him.
Oh, Kennedy was great.
He was great. And I thought, like, you could care less what's going on.
No.
I mean, when you see all the repercussions of this many people not knowing who's here. And I just saw the other day, it was like there's tons of Chinese nationals coming in too. It's like they got like 20 Chinese nationals that came in and a busload. And it's just like, hey, go. America's, you know, it's a bizarre time. And for that dude to not be able to say, yeah, the border's a mess when he's under oath.
He's a coward. He's a liar.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
he
a
doesn't,
traitor.
you know.
He's a traitor.
And under oath, it doesn't mean anything anymore because nobody gets punished after we know they're lying anyway.
He's a traitor
but if you don't
to the
believe
Constitution, he's a traitor to his oath. He's a traitor to America.
And I keep looking the wrong way.
You're fine.
But if you don't believe in a God or God, what does it matter if you're under oath anyway? So
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Ken, who's your traitor of the week?
Traitor of the week? Well, that would have to be every individual. Well, it have to be Senator Mark Warner, first off, who is the author or the one who sponsored the, what do they call it? The Restrict Act?
Yeah. And I heard the quote
Patriot Act on steroids for the internet.
It's the big tech Patriot Act.
Against the American people and every a Republican senator, and there are several that are co-sponsored.
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham's one of them, who denied that he co-sponsored it, even though Jesse Waters was waving the bill in front of him.
Yeah, because he didn't know, because his assistant put the stamp on it.
Whatever. But again, they're traitors. They all know what's in it. Rubio, these guys that are on the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence, they know what's in this. They know what they want to do. It has nothing to do with getting rid of TikTok. It has everything to do with mind controlling and speech controlling American citizens and jailing the ones that they don't like.
And hey,
they need to be stopped.
Exactly. We do have the breaking news. I didn't mention it. Our favorite Buffalo man has been released. I gotta get his name. Hold on.
From January 6th?
QAnon.
Yeah, QAnon dude.
Shaman.
How did he get released?
Because they lied.
Yeah, after Tucker showed the footage of him doing absolutely nothing but being given a tour of the Capitol by a bunch of police, walked right by. He did nothing wrong.
Nope.
Said a prayer for him.
Yeah, Jacob Chansley is freed from prison 14 months early after his lawyer said January 6th footage showing him being escorted into Senate by cops was exculpatory. So, good for him. Our Buffalo boy made it.
Dude.
Nuts. Anyway, my traitor of the week, it has to go to CNN. I'll give it to CNN because, okay.
That's an easy one.
I know it is easy because they're all traitors. But Dean, before I show you this, because I want the shock value,
okay.
you remember the memes and the videos of, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then you had the great video. I mean, this is early YouTube days. And you had the, you better hide your kids, hide your husbands, hide your wives.
That's a ringtone.
Yeah, hide your husbands too, because they're raping everybody. Well, if you, a white man, a cis white man, create any meme involving a black person, you may be guilty of wearing digital blackface.
Digital blackface. If everything's racist, nothing is racist.
Exactly.
Digital
blackface. But of course, Disney can get away with it because when they make the movie about Greta Thunberg, This is what they're gonna do. Terrence K. Williams, thank you very much. I love
him.
Holy crap! I saw that meme. I cracked up.
Yeah.
Digital.
So digital. How dare you? It's gonna be. You have to say it right. If anyway. But yeah, digital blackface.
The terms they make up. Just to me, that's comedy.
I know it's insanity.
But again, do they realize how weak it makes them look when they do this?
Yeah. God,
you know, when they're so wimped out by just anything offends them.
Yeah,
it's laughable. How do you expect me to respect you or even respond to anything you say with nothing you say is credible anymore?
Exactly.
It's so pathetic. Comedy is making fun of everybody, everything.
Because they're given it's miles of
easy
comedy
material.
Here. It's right there. They're
you know how many
it up on a platter.
Right. And you know how many more of those are going to come out now?
Oh
Oh yeah. I love it. I love it.
Oh God.
So Dean, any last thoughts? So any rabbit holes you've been jumping down lately? We got 2 minutes left.
Man, I always fly into like stuff with outer space. The aliens and that. They say there's going to be a
There's going to be a new world order out there.
So I saw this one where they're going to have holograms. So there's going to be a pretend alien invasion to get people under control. Where you're going to see these UFOs. And every time I'll be up at 2:00 drinking wine. I'm like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Because when you look at all the sci-fi I've seen over the years, I'm like, this was in this movie. This was in that movie. Yeah. The Last of Us fungus is coming. They're doing it. Taking us out.
Yeah. Well, hey, a good book I recommend, Dean. I mentioned on the show before, 1 Second After. Because you're hearing about all of it now about EMPs and all that. Even who is the guy Dennis Quaid? He's just coming out with a documentary / movie about an EMP and all that. But this book is an older book, and I love it, and it's great, and it's a novel, so it's easy to read. It's not like you're gonna die tomorrow when the EMP attacks because you're not gonna have any food, water, electric to run your Tesla. But it's this military guy who is based in his town that he lives in. I was thinking it's Black Mountain. North Carolina, South Carolina, one of those.
Yeah.
And how his family would survived over the course of a year. And it's a great book, and it talks about an EMP. And when it hits, nobody's going to know that it hits because everything's going to go out. You can't check yourself.
Well, there will, depending on how it's done. Because right now, I mean, pulse weapons that they could use maybe, but an EMP is generated right now the easiest way by a nuclear airburst.
Yes.
So
exactly.
You're going to know.
It'd be great if the computers just went dead right now.
Right now, right? Just click from a Chinese spy balloon. Yeah. Anyway, folks, Dean, thank you for joining us. Really
thanks for having me.
And folks can check out DinoLive.com. Check him out and go see him.
Or Dean Olive, as my son pointed out.
Yeah, it's easier to remember. DinoLive.com. And go see, if you're watching this week, because it's coming out Thursday night here. We'll be back on Wednesday next week. Go see him at McCurdy's this weekend. I'm sure there's probably only 1 or 2 tickets left.
Oh. John Wick 4, worth the ticket price.
Yes, go see John Wick 4 as well.
This weekend?
And
we saw it last
we saw it last weekend. It's great. Oh. Anyway, and folks, I will leave you with this. A rock in bad hands killed Abel. A rock in good hands killed Goliath. It's not about the rock. Be a patriot. Ammo up, because they certainly are. From the bunker, everybody. Good night.
Night.
You're watching Conservative Television of America, working hard to stick socialism where the sun don't shine.